Today, we're getting rid of your favorite Disney attraction.
Maybe. Let's unpack the magic.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to another episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast. I'm Sammy.
And I am Tyler.
And today we have a very fun episode for you guys.
Yeah, we got a fun little game of Keep, Change, or Close Disney Parks Edition.
Yes. I got this from an All Ears article. They had gone through, I don't think it was each park. They just had come up with 3 Disney attractions, and you have to keep one, change one, and close one.
And when you told me about that, I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And I thought that was a great kind of format to a podcast episode. So we kind of took that and are doing kind of each individual park.
Yes.
We're going to pose these questions to one another. So we've tried to make these kind of hard or difficult, or maybe pitted some of our favorite attractions up against one another, because we're going to have to close and change one of them. So
yes,
this will be interesting.
Yes, it should be fun. So yeah, and I think it just goes along the lines of Walt's vision and what he had said about Disneyland when he was building it, that it would never be complete.
Mm-hmm.
So
always changing, always evolving.
Yeah, so we just thought we would kind of run with that idea and see what we kind of come up with these scenarios.
And by no means am I, especially with, I don't know what you've picked for me to go through, but like for what I picked for you, like I don't want any of these to, I shouldn't say any of them, but I don't want a lot of these to close or change. So hopefully no one in like Imagineering is listening and is taking notes, because like I do not want these things to happen in most cases.
Yeah, I'm sure there's maybe some on this list. Like, yeah, some could use an update or get closed. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I'm excited, but I'm nervous to see what we have for one another, because I know like some of the attractions I've picked for you, like they're going to be very difficult. Like you don't want to get rid of any of them, or you don't want to change any of them. And then some of them you're like, I've got a laundry list of ideas for these. So we'll see what kind of pans out here.
Yeah, decisions will be made.
Yeah, and kind of like what you said with Walt's vision, the parks are always changing. They're constantly changing. I mean, they look a lot different from even the first time that we went 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So change is inevitable in the Disney parks. Sometimes it's badly needed, or it's long overdue. Sometimes it wasn't needed at all, and I will take this argument to my grave that they need to bring back Dreamfinder and the original Journey into Imagination.
Happily Ever After here, that needs to come back, which I don't know if you guys have seen Jordan Fisher's Twitter kind of recently.
But yeah, he alluded to like he made a lot of Happily Ever After fans a little I don't know, concerned or overwhelmed.
I think overwhelmed, because I don't know if he's saying that because something is going to be happening.
It's not.
Or or if he's just saying that because he misses it just as much as we do. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if that goes anywhere. There's a little part of me that's hoping, but I don't want to get my hopes up too high for that.
So we'll see. Yeah, he alluded to like, shouldn't it come back? Like, right. Isn't it gonna come? It's gonna come back, right? We'll see. Who knows? Maybe at the end of the 50th celebration, they're just gonna do a brand new fireworks show that's completely different from Enchantment or Happily Ever After, and then we'll have something else to complain about.
Well, maybe not complain about it. I mean, by that time, Enchantment will have its due. I mean, it's been going on for like a year and a half. Like, yeah, it's about time. So.
Well, let's not focus on what we know is going to stay in the parks right now with Enchantment. Let's go ahead and turn to some scenarios that we've put up from one another and get into this episode.
All right.
You want to do that?
Yes, I do.
All right. So I mentioned before, we've taken the parks and came up with a scenario of keep, change, or close for all the parks.
Yes. So Disney World and Disneyland out in California. So we have 6 parks.
Yes, 6 parks to choose from, and so all of the scenarios that we're going to be giving one another are park specific. So we're not going to have like an attraction from Epcot going up against an attraction from DCA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think that'll make it a little easier for us, so that way we don't have to like fight between like really good attractions. But we'll see what we got.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Do you want to? What park do you want to go start off with? Do you just want to go down the list like we had them, or I guess which park do you want to get out of the way first?
Oh, it doesn't matter. You start.
Okay. And I have my handy dandy notebook because I forgot to charge my tablet before I started this, so we're gonna kick it old school here. Let's kick it old school and start off with Disneyland, the original park, the OG park.
Okay.
Sammy.
Yes.
Keep, change, or close? Storybook Canals, Snow White's Enchanted Wish. I think that's what it's called, the new one.
Yeah.
And Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, goodness. Also, side note, we have very similar rides for this one.
That's it. It's A-okay.
Okay.
Who's to say they were going to have similar answers?
That's true. Okay, can you read them again?
Yes. It's Storybook Canals,
Okay.
Snow White's Enchanted Wish, and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Okay. So this one's a little tricky. I was very excited for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride when we went.
Yes, you very much were.
I've ridden it, and I think that's the one that's gonna close.
Ooh. Okay.
So we're gonna keep Enchanted Wish.
So then how are you going to change Storybook Canals?
I'm not sure, but I guess that's the one that's getting updated.
Okay.
Or,
Sure, that works.
yeah. Yep, that's what I'm going with.
And I think with that one, like you could, if you wanted to change it, like you could just add new castles or add new scenes to it.
Right. Like it doesn't, I guess, like in my mind it wasn't like, oh, you need to change, like overhaul it. Like you could just make, I guess maybe like some substantial changes.
Right.
But,
I mean, because there's different ways to like change it, right? Like you can like put an overlay on it, like they do Hyperspace Mountain in Disneyland with space, or you could do like a complete retheme like Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yeah.
So I guess we really didn't specify like how big of a change you needed to make of it, but yeah, I think adding a couple new scenes to that would be really cute.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely don't want that one to go away because I really like that one. And I know Snow White's Enchanted Wish just got that update. And I was really blown away by that one. So I want to keep that one how it is. So
yeah, that one's really cute.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. Okay.
What you got for me?
So for you, I have Snow White's Enchanted Wish.
Okay.
Storybook Canals.
Okay.
And the Alice in Wonderland ride.
Ooh.
I like how we stuck to Fantasyland.
Yeah. I tried on this one just because there's so much in that area. Like a lot of those were interchangeable. Like first I was like, well, let's do like Mr. Toad's Peter Pan and Pinocchio. Because I'm just like, I'm more apt to get rid of some of those rides.
Yeah, yep.
But I'm like, no, let's make it hard. And this one's hard too, because I really, really enjoy Alice in Wonderland. And that did get a semi-recent update with some new scenes or some new technologies in it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that ride.
Well,
I just enjoy Fantasyland over there in general. That's probably like one of my favorite parts of Disneyland.
So I'm going to. This is really hard because like changing it is not difficult to do. It's just which one do I want to close.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably keep Snow White.
Okay.
I would change Alice in Wonderland and close
Oh.
Storybook. Reason I say that is because as much as I really love Storybook, I feel like they could easily just make a different version of that type of story somewhere else. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be a boat ride. It could be like a walkthrough, or they could like, it'd be really cool if they could incorporate like the castles and like the scenes into It's a Small World, like they did with the characters.
Oh,
So
that
instead
would
of
be
having
fun.
just, because like the animatronic little Small World figures of Cinderella and Gus Gus and Jack, those are really, really cute. But then
Yeah.
if you had like the castle somewhere off in the
Oh, yeah,
background,
that'd be really
so
cute.
that would be super cute. So that's where I'm going to say, like, we're still going to keep the essence of Storybook Canals. We're just going to close down that particular ride and just put all the animatronics somewhere else, or all the sets somewhere else. I don't know.
I
I
think
don't know
you're
if that.
changing it, but okay.
Mm, maybe. That was hard. And then
Yeah.
I would change what I would change about Alice in Wonderland. Okay, well, okay. So I did a lot of changing with Storybook, so I'll change it. So that we'll change Storybook Canals, and then I guess I'll close down Alice in Wonderland because I don't know what I would change it to, or I don't know what I would like. Would
Okay.
So I guess yeah, I'll change. I'll close Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
That was so difficult. All right, so you want to stick? Let's go to the other main. Let's go to Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going all over the place
Okay.
here. So Sammy,
Yes.
you got to keep change clothes. Tomorrowland Speedway, Peter Pan's Flight, and the Hall of Presidents.
Ooh. Okay. Tomorrowland Speedway.
Peter Pan's Flight, and the Hall of Presidents.
Okay.
My thought process going into this question was the ride that we've never ridden, the Magic Kingdom Fantasyland ride that I probably like the least.
Yeah.
And the attraction that I like the most on this list just because it has nice air conditioning and you can sit down for like a half hour.
This is okay. So I think I'm gonna change Tomorrowland Speedway.
Okay.
Because there's so much you could do with that. Like, I know one thing that we've talked about is bringing in like Sugar Rush, like, and
with
doing
Wreck-It
like
Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph, and like doing that. So that could easily be changed and updated. Hopefully they get rid of it because I think the cars still run on like gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So futuristic.
Yeah, I know.
So City of Tomorrow.
So that really needs to change. I don't think it deserves to close. No, I don't think we're gonna close that one. So then we're gonna.
You have to keep Hall of Presidents or keep Peter Pan, and then one of them closes.
Well, I'm gonna say probably gonna make a lot of people mad.
Do it.
I'm gonna keep Hall of Presidents and I'm gonna close Peter Pan.
Yeah.
That ride, like, it's a cute little ride. I do like that you get to like go up and like see everything from above, but it's so short, and I don't know, like, I'm just surprised that it's still
It definitely shows its age especially compared to the Disneyland version of it. Like, it definitely is, like, the queue is better than the ride.
I was just gonna say that queue is amazing. In Magic Kingdom. So yeah, I don't know if they could bring in something else, but yeah, I really enjoy the Hall of Presidents. I think we just like kind of enjoy history and like that aspect, and it fits so well in Liberty Square.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. So Magic Kingdom. Let's see. Okay. Big Thunder Mountain,
Oh, jeez.
Space Mountain, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Okay, we're gonna get rid of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. That's the easiest. That's the easiest answer. As much as I love the animatronics in that little the mine scene, I think it's Sleepy has like a skunk on top of him, and like the skunk's tail is like on his nose, and he's just dozing off. Like that's like the cutest animatronic. And Dopey with the gems in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cute middle section for a very uncomfortable ride.
Yeah.
I don't get the hype on it. I've said it on this podcast before. I don't get the hype around it. I don't understand waiting 70, 80, 90 minutes in that ride, in that line.
Yeah.
On that part, I would never pay if they brought back the paid lightning lanes for
yeah,
it.
because that was a paid one
Initially. If they ever brought that back, I would never pay for that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth the hype to me. It's a very uncomfortable ride. Even you've even mentioned it's uncomfortable for you too.
Like obviously you are a bigger guy. I am smaller than you, but I even still feel squished and crammed in there, and I'm shorter, and so I can only imagine what it's like squishing your knees in there and everything. Yeah. So no, I get it.
That's an easy one for me. So I have to keep between Big Thunder and Space. I have to keep and change one of those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep Big Thunder the way it is. Perfect. I mean, it's not as good as the Disneyland version of it in the Magic Kingdom, but like any of the mountains in Magic Kingdom, that is hands down my favorite. So we're gonna keep that. I'm gonna change Space Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
One to do the side-by-side ride vehicle, so I don't feel like I'm humping the person in front of me if I get it back. But which I can't sit in row 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like I have to sit in the first row because that's the only way I'm going to fit my knees on that ride. Which makes it even scarier because I'm the first person to experience something. Like if I was like in other darker rides, like if I'm sitting behind somebody, I can kind of see like a silhouette of like what's kind of happening.
Yeah.
So like I kind of know like, oh, we're going left in like 0.2 seconds. I can anticipate that. I can't do that in the front row at Space Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I almost clipped my fingers off on that ride. I was just
gonna say, like, you can't really put your hands like up because there's like so many like bars and stuff. Yeah, and you hit one.
So if we changed it to include the 2-person or side-by-side ride vehicles, that's not the only thing I'm going to change. But that's my first change. I feel like that was an easy cop out on it. But like I'm going to change that, and then I think we can change it to maybe like a ride overlay. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like a permanent ride overlay, but like I'd like a seasonal overlay multiple times a year. So like maybe in the summertime, we could do like a Toy Story, like Buzz Lightyear overlay. And then in the winter or in the, for Halloween time, they can do like a villains or like a scary overlay on it. There's definitely overlays that they can do. They obviously do one during Christmas, which I'm very excited to try.
Yeah.
When we go out there for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. But that would be what I would do. Change the ride vehicles and then add some overlays to it. Yeah,
that sounds fun. I forget which park it is, but it has like a Star Wars theme to it.
Out in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
It's a Hyperspace Mountain. That's one where I'm going to be a purist on it. And I'm like, I want the original, like the Jules Verne, like, I think it's like Shot to the Moon or Trip to the Moon.
Oh, yeah. We've seen video on that. That looks really cool.
That looks really, really cool. And as much as I like Star Wars, like I liked the originality of the storyline that they created in that.
Yeah.
And I think like, especially like watching a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind videos, like you see like there's the big like planets and the moon in there. And like that reminds me of like what they were going for in that version of Space Mountain. So, but yeah, I'd be okay with it. I would be okay even doing like a Star Wars overlay too for like a May the 4th overlay.
Yeah.
At Disneyland or Disney World, because they do that in Disneyland.
Yeah.
But bring it to Disney World.
I know, that's a thing. We talk about kind of, or like quite a bit, is they feel a little bit more adventurous over in Disneyland versus Disney World. And I think that is just because like more locals go to Disneyland, so then you get a lot of like out of state people or even like out of the country people. It's like their first time going to Disney, and it's all down in Disney World. So I think they like to keep things like the same all the time.
Right.
So
you
way
want to have a very standard first experience for new and returning.
Yeah, so
visitors.
I think they just kind of shy away from doing a lot of that in Disney World, which I don't
Do
like. I don't like. So,
like, I mean, we've only been to Disneyland once, and I've been blown away by like just how much that they do and pack into those parks, and what they could be doing in Disney World, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my answers.
All right.
Perfect.
Next park.
Yeah, next park.
Where are we going?
You pick. I'll give you your things. You just gotta let me know what park you want to go to.
Let's go to DCA.
Okay, perfect. This is, I feel, one of the harder sets of questions. Incredicoaster.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakouts, and Web Slingers.
Oh, okay. Incredicoaster, Mission Breakout, and Web Slingers.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm just trying to think so we rode Web Slingers while we were out there.
Sure did. We rope dropped that.
Yes. And it was okay. But I don't know, like it was just okay to me.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna close that one.
Okay.
So then that leaves Mission Breakout and Incredicoaster.
Yep. And you need to change one and then keep one as is.
Okay. I'm gonna keep Mission Breakout as is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I really like the theming. I really like that better than Tower of Terror, and I really like Tower of Terror out in Disney World. So, but I really enjoyed Mission Breakout more, like just like the theming and everything. Like I know we purposely went through the standby line just so that we could experience the whole
the queue
with like the collector and like all the items that you have, because when you go through the lightning lane, you skip a good chunk of that.
You can kind of see it off in the distance. Yeah, you don't get to see a lot.
Yeah, so, and that was really cool. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep that. So then I'm gonna change the Incredicoaster. I'm not exactly sure what I would change it to. I do like the theming of the Incredibles. I don't know if they could add like more stuff to it.
Yeah, for a franchise that like you're not a huge fan of, like it's a really well themed ride, and like it makes total sense for me.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, so I do. Yeah, The Incredibles. It's an okay movie for me. But no, I do like the Incredicoaster, The Incredibles. Like it all like goes together. I just don't know if they maybe need to add more stuff. But then yeah, I wouldn't be opposed if they were to change it to something else. What that something else is, I can't really think off the top of my head. But I'm okay if they rethemed it to something.
I think it'd be really cool if in one portion of the ride they kind of did, because in a couple of the lift hills they kind of cover it. Because there's one where like you kind of see Jack's laser eyes, and there's another one where it smells like cookies. I think another one, especially like if it's a really hot day, like if you're going through a certain tunnel and it's like all like ice blue and Frozone, it's kind of kind of like covering you, and like you get like this chill, like this blast of like icy cold air as you're going through it. I think that would be really cool.
That would be fun. Yeah. But we thoroughly enjoyed that ride. That was probably one of our favorites out there.
We rode that the most out there. Probably like what, like 3, 4, 5 probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I think like 4 or 5 times. So
yeah, I love that ride.
Yeah.
That was, as much as I love Avengers Campus and Radiator Springs Racers was an incredible, attraction. If I only had to pick one ride to go on, I probably would be Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
All right, what you got for me for DCA?
All right, for DCA again, it's pretty similar.
Okay,
But we have Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout,
sure.
The Incredicoaster,
Uh-huh.
Radiator Springs Racers.
And I thought about putting Radiator Springs Racers on there, but I thought that was gonna be too difficult, so I didn't want you to have to deal with that. So thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll agree with you. I think that the Guardians queue in that ride works like almost too well. Like like when it was first announced, like a lot of people were just kind of like iffy about it because they weren't sure how it was going to work. Like me being like a huge Marvel fan, like I was all for it. Like I really was down for it. And they just do it really, really well. And just seeing like there's so much of like there's so many like hidden Easter eggs in the queue too, especially like not even like the main queue in the collector's room or the collector's like the entrance where you have like the big screen. Like even going into his office and then going into like the gantry area, like getting in like before you get to your gantry lift, because like Harold the original Yeti from Matterhorn is like hidden up there. Figment is up in one of the collector's boxes. Like there's so many cool Easter eggs there, like I wouldn't want to change that, so I'm gonna keep Guardians. So then I have to change and close
Incredicoaster or Radiator Springs Racers.
I don't see how you could really. Both of those are like you can't have that land without that attraction. I'm gonna keep Radiator Springs Racers.
Okay.
But I gotta change it somehow. We'll figure out how to change it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll add like some different characters, or we can change like some show scenes. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Like it wasn't my job to necessarily change to come up with the ideas to change everything. Although we have been talking about it.
Yeah.
But then that means I'd have to close Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna change it. We're gonna keep Incredicoaster. I'm gonna add the Frozone thing because I came up with that idea. We're gonna close Radiator Springs Racers. We'll come up with something just as cool with it. What that is, I don't know. But because you can like, there's so much space in like that area.
Yeah.
Like you could easily put like 2 attractions in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't feel good about what I just said, but I think given the circumstances, that's what I'm gonna go with.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. That's difficult.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
And like I said, some of these are going to be a lot more difficult than others. Some of these are going to be pretty easy. I think I want to give you maybe kind of an easy one here.
Okay.
So we're going to head to Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
If you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Your 3 attractions are Navi River Journey.
Okay.
Cali River Rapids. And It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Oh god.
your 3 least favorite attractions in that park.
Okay. Navi River Journey, Cali River Rapids, Tough to Be a Bug.
Yes.
Okay.
To me, this seems pretty easy.
Tough to Be a Bug can go. That we're close then. So Navi River Journey and oh no, wait.
I was like, you're gonna think about this a little bit more, and you're gonna realize like.
Okay. Cali River Rapids, we're closing.
Okay.
We're closing that one. We will keep Navi River Journey. That one can stay. And then we will change It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Right, because you could put like any like
you could
animal themed show in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, yeah, you could do like. Oh, it'd be cool if they did like a Zootopia thing or something under there. Like, And
I don't know like how big like of a space the like the stage is, but like you could do a lot of stuff there. Like I even think like because like the Tree of Life and what that represents, like I even think like maybe like a Black Panther Wakanda show.
Yes.
like a show like that's um paying tribute to like the past kings and the Dora Milaje,
Oh, that would be
having that in the
cool.
bottom of the Tree of Life. Like I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much I feel like that, yeah, they could do. And yeah, Tough to Be a Bug. We did it once and it scared me. Like, I did not know about like little bugs going under your butt and stuff. Like, it, like, no, I don't want to do that again. Like, the only reason I would maybe want to like get in line is because like you get to see like the other part of the Tree of Life,
I guess.
and like some cool parts, but then I would just like not
Yeah.
go in.
And I remember that one time that we were there, like I got very claustrophobic and it was very warm in that holding area getting
Oh,
into the
yeah.
theater. And they just keep playing that insensitive or in like just a really crazy loud chirping, like a
Mm-hmm.
bug noise. And
Yeah.
I was like full on ready to have like a mental breakdown in there because I'm like, I cannot deal with this. This is like
Yeah.
just like nightmare inducing down here.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know like how much longer it's gonna stick around, because I feel like a lot of people don't like it, but then I don't know, people still go to it.
I think it's good for kids.
But I don't know, even some kids get scared of it. Like, it's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Who cares?
And then like with Cali River Rapids, I just don't like getting wet on a ride.
Yeah.
Especially for a ride that's like once Tiana's opens, I will go on that. Like, and I will enjoy that, even though I might get wet.
It'll be worth the
It'll be
sacrifice.
worth it. Like, Cali River Rapids is not worth it. It's so I'm just no. I did it once and I'm good with that.
And we were soaked after that ride.
Gosh. I had my poncho on.
Yes,
So.
you did.
Okay, so for you,
You're gonna stick in Animal Kingdom?
Yeah.
Okay, what you got for me?
Okay, I have Festival of the Lion King.
Ooh.
Expedition Everest, and Flight of Passage.
Okay. We're going to keep Festival of the Lion King.
Okay.
Don't touch it. It's beautiful. I'm glad that the Tumble Monkeys are back. I'm glad that the aerial birds that go up in the air are back.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's back to full on 100% Festival of the Lion King.
Yes,
we've seen it in both iterations and we loved it both ways, but we're gonna keep that.
I'm very excited to see that when we go back.
This seems pretty easy. We're going to change Expedition Everest and fix the damn Yeti. Like, that's the biggest change you can make. Let's do it.
Okay.
And then that means we're gonna close Flight of Passage.
Ooh.
I know that's probably a pretty hot take. I love Flight of Passage. I love feeling your Banshee kind of breathe in between you. And you kind of getting jostled all around. I love the smells. We have the smells from Magic Candle Company, which it smells amazing. It's a very great visual, beautifully visual experience for a franchise I don't really care about.
I know. Yeah, I struggle with Pandora a lot because it's visually like beautiful. Like, you can look at that and like
it's one of my favorite places to be in Animal Kingdom.
But yeah, as far as like the movie, like, I don't like Avatar. So I could care less about the second one coming out. So yeah, and I guess like that ride for me is not like a must ride.
And I was gonna say, I think that's probably why it made it easier for me to close it.
But yeah, I don't know, maybe that's a hot take. I'm not really sure. But
yeah, because I know when we were there in November, we made it a conscious effort to make sure to stay in Pandora or be in Pandora at night so we can see everything lit up. But we didn't do Flight of Passage on that trip. And that was kind of one of those where I would have rather stayed outside to enjoy the atmosphere than have to wait 60 minutes in the line for the ride itself. So
yeah,
I can appreciate Pandora for what it is visually, but the franchise itself, it's not anything like I'm like, oh my god, like it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, no, so. I agree. So
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay, I like it.
All right. All right. So we just have, let's see here, 2 parks left.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Hollywood Studios so we end on Epcot.
Okay.
Because Epcot's our favorite, and
Yeah.
that makes total sense. So for Hollywood Studios, it is a battle of the shows.
Ooh.
Beauty and the Beast, the Frozen Sing-Along, and Muppet Vision 3D.
Okay. We're going to close Muppet Vision. We're gonna change
That easily. Huh? You're like, F them Muppets. I don't need them.
We're gonna change Beauty and the Beast, and we're gonna keep Frozen.
Okay.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured, I mean, they don't all have to be hard questions, but I figured you were going to get rid of Muppets right away.
Yeah, I'm not a Muppets fan. I just don't really enjoy them very much. We did watch, it was the Christmas one this past Christmas. I think we watched the Muppets.
Yeah, that was good. I liked that.
Yeah, it was fine. I think the one thing that I really enjoyed was the Haunted Mansion one. The Muppets Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
That came out last year. That I did like. But otherwise, yeah, the Muppets in general, like I'm not a fan of, so that was pretty, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I think that the Muppet Vision 3D has not aged really well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with there being Muppets in the park. But I think they just need a drastic upgrade or an update.
Yeah, I don't know. Like then that whole area over there, I think could just use a really big update. So
agreed.
Yeah. All
right. What are my options for Hollywood Studios?
So we have Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay.
Tower of Terror.
Okay.
Slinky Dog Dash.
Okay. Wow. I think God, this is difficult. Like in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna make the easiest decision here and just keep this one. And I'm like, after I was thinking in my head, I'm like, no, that doesn't no. Between Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, I will hands down 100% want to always do Rock and Roller Coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not taking into account anything of knowing what Disneyland has done with theirs and changed the Mission Breakout like that. It's just like between the two, if I'm going just attraction to attraction,
mm-hmm.
I'm always going to want to go on Rock and Roller Coaster more than I am Tower of Terror. So I also say that Slinky Dog is a superior ride to Tower of Terror. Based on just the ride itself. I enjoy it more, and I think I'm gonna close Tower of Terror.
Okay.
I want to say it's. I know I said superior. Now I say stuff out loud. I'm just like, no, you're dumb. Like it's a very hot take. That's a dumb take. I just enjoy Slinky Dog more than Tower.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tower, like you're just literally getting dropped. So I mean,
right.
It's a different kind
of. And
ride.
I do like that, and I do find myself laughing and enjoying it. I find myself laughing and enjoying Mission Breakout much more.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if that changed, like I'd be fine with it. But if it closed, like I'd have Slinky Dog and Rock and Roller Coaster to fall back on. So I'm gonna close Tower of Terror.
Okay.
I'm going to keep Slinky Dog Dash the way it is because it fits very perfectly in Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
Andy did a great job building it. We're not going to critique him. So we're going to keep it. And then we're going to change Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay. I like
something that I think that it's been speculated for a while to be done.
I know that's been talked about, and there's so many different ideas floating around there. Do you have?
I do. We've actually talked about this a couple times. I think the one that a lot of people kind of go to, and I say it as I'm looking at my Goofy movie poster on the wall. Is to change it to a Powerline concert.
Oh my gosh.
Would be fantastic.
I would love that. That'd probably be one of my favorite rides.
The thing is that you're not going to get the re-rideability experience as you do with Rock and Roller Coaster because you have so many different soundtracks with Rock and Roller Coaster. So, you obviously would have like Standout and Eye to Eye, which would be great to have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
But what if Powerline is putting out a new album?
That would be pretty sweet.
And yeah, like, and you're invited to go like on his tour or something. So then you could get like
this is like songs. A press tour for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that aspect.
It just got into my brain, and I'm like, that would be amazing.
That is really cool.
So then you could still get like the different songs because
they're all brand new songs.
But and still throwing
that is such a good idea. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna change Rock and Roller Coaster to a Powerline press tour, because then everything else in that makes complete sense. Like you really don't have to change a whole lot. Like I think like you would want to change. So like when you walk into, I don't remember like the record company that you walk into. Records, and I can't think of it right now. But I think if they kind of made it look cartoony like they did Mickey and Minnie's. You know how like when you walk through the movie screen and then everything looks like you're actually in like an animated cartoon. If they did that with the record studio, so as soon as you walk in, like you're maybe like in a regular record studio, but then you go into the recording room, and that is where everything changes, and it looks like you're in like a cartoon.
Yeah. That'd be so fun.
And then you go into like that backlot area, and everything just kind of looks like it's been painted like by an animator in there. The cars have like thicker like lines on them, so it looks like they're hand drawn. And then you can keep a lot of the stuff that's actually in the ride, like the signage and everything, but make it more like a cross country trip instead of just like kind of going to Hollywood, because they have like all like the different Hollywood landmarks or whatever. Like make it on a cross country trip. Like you're in New York, but you need to get to Los Angeles for like the opening, like your first, night on tour. Yeah. Like that would be so sick.
That would be so fun. And yeah, like it just like the new music that they could come up with for it. Like
I never thought about adding new music to it, but that would make, because then that adds that rewritability.
Yeah, which I do like that. Getting like the different songs. So.
And that's my favorite part about going on Rock and Roller Coaster. Like I try to like see like what the license plate is, even though I can never remember which songs are to which license plate. Yeah. And I think that's what I'm going to really like about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Yes.
Is because you have 6 different soundtracks. I think it's 6 different soundtracks to go through. So like you're not always going to get. I mean, theoretically, you shouldn't always be getting the same songs every time you go on there.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Let's do it. Disney, make it happen.
Yes, make that happen.
You can steal this idea.
Just take it. I don't even need to be credited for it, or like you don't need to be credited for it coming up with the new ideas. Just bring back Tevin Campbell, have him record a bunch of new songs as Powerline. Like we can do this.
My gosh.
Let's start a change.org petition on it or something. All right. I think we are down to our last park now.
Last park is Epcot.
And it's Epcot. Do I go? Yes, I go. I got so excited talking about that. I forgot where we are. All right. Skimmy.
Okay.
Last park.
Epcot.
Our favorite park.
Yes.
Keep change clothes.
Okay.
Test Track.
Okay.
Soarin'. Or the Grand Fiesta Tour with the 3 Caballeros.
Ooh, Test Track, Soarin', Grand Fiesta Tour. Okay. I think Soarin' can stay. We're gonna keep that.
Okay.
As is. Yeah. Because then we are going to just close Test Track. They need to do something else. Yeah. And then we are going to change the Grand Fiesta Tour. And I am like team retheme it to Coco.
Oh, see, and I'm not.
Like Coco or even like Encanto, like that would be I think it would fit really well like in there. And just like all like the bright colors and everything. yeah, like I think that could work. I know they're not from Mexico, but
Taking some liberties there.
yeah, but I think the overall theming would work really well. So yeah, I don't know, or maybe I don't know what else they would retheme it to.
I think Coco would probably be the
Yeah,
most
Coco would probably be the best.
logical.
But I just know like with how popular Encanto has gotten, I don't know if that would ever cross their mind too.
I think regardless if they put anything in there, they really need to change the queue because it's a very small, cramped queue. You'd almost have to. I think there's when you're in there. I think that there's a glass shop right next to that queue area. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna have to get rid of that. Maybe extend that out into is it St. Angel's? Whatever the restaurant is in there.
Oh yeah, Sand and Hill, I think.
Whatever the name of the restaurant, you're gonna have to kind of maybe back up some of the seating in there because you need to have a bigger queue, especially if you're gonna put something like Coco in there.
Yeah. If it's gonna get a retheme, like people are obviously gonna get excited for it, so it's gonna be way busier. So yeah, that's definitely something that they would have to consider. But yeah, I mean, as much as I like the Grand Fiesta tour, and I like the old school like feel of it, I'm okay putting something new in there. So
okay,
that's what I'm going with.
All right.
Okay, so for Epcot we have Grand Fiesta tour.
Okay.
Journey into Imagination with Figment, and The Seas with Nemo and Friends.
Okay, we're gonna close Seas with Nemo and Friends. Let's get that out of the way. We are going to keep. We're going to keep the Grand Fiesta tour. I 100% am team Jose, Panchito, and Donald. They are the cutest. I love them. Even Cardboard Donald. And
I just saw. I don't know if it was Disney Food Blog. They had reposted, I think from like a year ago or something, Plant Donald.
Oh, Plant Donald.
Plant Donald.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, so I adore that ride. I think it's so cute. I think it fits the theme of the Mexico Pavilion great. I think that I really want more of those type of rides in more pavilions.
Oh, that would be amazing if they could, like, not every pavilion, but definitely if they could add, I think, more rides to the pavilions.
Yeah, I think that they were gonna. I shouldn't say I think. I know that they were going to do this. Have a Rhine River tour in the Germany pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of when you go back into it a little bit, like before you go to the beer garden, there is like this huge mural on the wall of the Rhine River and like the German landscape. Like behind that was supposed to be the entrance to this Rhine River boat tour.
Yep.
Tear on the wall. Let's do it. Like,
right?
let's
I know.
and
they teased the Mary Poppins ride in the UK pavilion, and now it's just like put on hold. Like, I don't think they said it was canceled altogether, but
right. And I don't know if that was even a ride or if it was more of this kind of like a walkthrough experience. Like, we don't really know exactly what it was.
I mean, it sounded like more of a ride kind of thing, but I don't know. There weren't many details at all that were
and then COVID squashed it.
Yeah, so that makes me really sad because when they announced that, I was really excited.
That was one of your like biggest like things that you were looking forward to with those announcements.
Yep. So maybe sometime in the future that would come back.
Yeah. But getting back to my three boys, I want to keep them.
Yeah.
The way it is. I'm gonna keep them. And then so I close the Nemo.
Yep.
It's a cute ride. Don't get me wrong, but it's it's your basic clamshell omnimover like we haven't seen like with the Little Mermaid. Right. I do think that there's some cool parts of that ride. The jellyfish area is really cool, and like whatever that like really creepy piranha looking thing with the light.
Oh,
like that animatronic is really really cool because you can't really see it, but you can. But like I always get like I don't want to say like a headache. But like I just like my mind like doesn't process the animations on the glass.
Yeah.
Like it's just hard for me to see it. Mm-hmm. I don't know like if I make it's just like my eyes hurt by like watching that.
Yeah, I always get tripped up like at the end, like when you're like going down like the current or whatever.
Oh and I don't like that part.
Like it makes me feel like I don't know because like you're moving. But then it kind of almost seems like you're not moving. And then it's like time to get off. And I'm like, I don't know how to walk anymore. Like,
right. And I think the last time we were there too, it kind of like the the projections weren't overlapping well. So like you could
Yeah.
definitely see like it almost looked like a projection on a projection, and it was like not moving at the same time. And it just like
Yeah.
there's a lot that would need to get changed with that ride for me to like really enjoy it. Like I'll still go on it because
Yeah.
it's usually a pretty quick ride to go on there. It's a
Yeah,
nice
after you
AC
walk
boost.
like 5 miles through the queue.
Oh my goodness, the queue.
That has one of the longest queues, which
They thought that this was gonna be the premier ride in Epcot. They had to have thought that.
Yeah, and every time we've gone on it, yeah, it's literally just as much time as it takes you to walk through the queue. Like,
which is like 10 minutes.
Yeah, like it's such a long queue, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we know what I'm closing and we know what we're keeping. So what are we changing?
What are we changing?
It's a nice little key to the beginning of the episode. We are going to bring back the original Dreamfinder. We're going to bring back the original Figment. Yes. We're going to bring back the Dreammobile or whatever they call it here. I want like full on everything in the Imagination Pavilion to get restored. I want the lightning or the rainbow tunnel. I want Dreamfinder with the puppet coming out. So like you look like, you know, it looks like Figment's on his hand or whatever. Like I want it all. Like bring back that original. That's something I never got to experience. I love Figment so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have money, but I will pay whatever it needs to happen to get that back. And
it just sounds amazing. And it was so loved. And then they changed it to like crap. I don't know.
Yeah, I want like the last scene.
Yeah. Like I just don't understand why you would like go backwards like with that ride. I don't know.
Yeah, like my favorite part, and I guess the reason why like I love going on that ride so much is because I love that final scene where Figment says imagination is a blast, and then it goes dark, and then all of a sudden like imagination is playing from the Sherman Brothers, and it's all like multicolored and it's beautiful and it's sparkly and it's just all these different hues of pinks and blues and purples, and like that's like I want that throw up in the entire rest of the ride. Like that's what I want. I want like I want a Figment and Bing Bong team up.
Oh my gosh.
Like that would be cool, right?
That would be. I was just thinking that when you said the rainbow tunnel, I was like, oh yeah, we get like rainbow unicorn out there. And yeah, that would be amazing.
But like even a ride where like Figment like uses his imagination to go through like different Disney movies. Mm-hmm. So like he could show up with like and hang out with like Bing Bong and Rainbow Unicorn a little bit, or like hang out with like Alice in like the field of singing flowers, because those are all different colors. Like there's so many cool things that you can do that's not the current iteration of Journey into Your Imagination.
Yeah, like you said, I think that last scene is probably why we go on that ride.
Well, it's definitely not the skunk.
the skunk smell.
Which I don't know, like we've talked about this a little bit, but like does it smell like coffee to you?
It smells maybe a little bit. Like it has like a skunkiness to it, but it's not like full on I mean, maybe they did that on purpose, I don't know, but whatever it is, it doesn't smell great.
Well, no, but that's the thing, like sometimes like I'm on that ride and I'm smelling it, I'm like, this doesn't smell half bad, because I think I'm smelling I think I'm getting like the coffee notes on it, and I'm just like, do I like this smell? Do I like Figment skunk smell?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. My brain is hurting thinking about
it. We'll figure it out on our next trip.
Like he's farting skunk spray, but like it smells kind of good. Well, Figment skunk spray aside, I think that was a really fun little trek around the parks.
Yeah, I think it was too. It just you know, like we said before, you know, Disney's always changing. They're always coming up with new ideas and, you know, things that they want to add or take away or change. So,
and some of them are, you know, going to be really popular ideas, and some of them, in most cases, with like the diehard Disney purists out there, like there's going to be pushback. But I think, in the end, from what we've seen so far as being like a parks fans, like we really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that they've done to change things.
Yeah, I do think that they're doing a good job. I'm really excited to see what Epcot's going to be like once that's all complete.
Yeah, Epcot is just
that's going under a lot of construction.
And it'll just be nice to finally get to like see what the Imagineers and what Disney has like really come up with. Like we're obviously seeing a lot of the updates come in almost like every single day of like Moana's Journey of Water, and kind of like what their new like kind of like pavilions are going to be up front there.
Yeah.
You kind of mentioned with the Mary Poppins attraction, if that'll
Yeah, maybe.
ever get
If we're
completed.
lucky.
We had gotten some sneak peeks of a Spaceship Earth theme in the past. So like there's a lot, especially at Epcot,
Yeah.
that is changing. But for that change to happen, things needed to be
Yeah,
closed,
things
things
have to
needed to be
close.
moved. And I think that's just, that's always what it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
So
who
I
knows, 30 years down the road, something else might close down in Epcot and people will
don't.
be mad about
I
that.
know, yeah. 30 years from now, Cosmic Rewind's closing to make way for the next new
Oh,
thing.
I will be on the front of that picket line if that happens.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see too, like what they choose to work on and change, because like we said before, like the Tomorrowland Speedway I think has been in dire need of like
Right. Or
an
like,
update, and like I don't know if they have any plans for that.
or even like, areas like, we're not huge fans of the Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah.
I mean, there are huge diehard fans of that, but like, I would think that the overall impression of the Country Bear Jamboree is just that it's one of those nostalgic attractions, but
Yeah.
it's not something that like people like the majority of your visitors are flocking to.
Right.
Um,
And that would be I don't know, for like us just talking about it, it just seems like something that would be relatively easy for Disney to change. Just bring in like some other stage show over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, just to give it some kind of update.
Mm-hmm. I think, and there's parts in every single park that are kind of like that. Like there's a huge question mark of what's going on in Dinoland USA over at Animal Kingdom. I guess a huge question for me is, what are they going to do with Launch Bay over at Hollywood Studios, or even with the Muppets area, because that's definitely showing its signs of wear.
Right. Yeah. Like it's getting older, it's getting worn down, and people just aren't going or flocking to it as much as they used to. So then I think that's a good sign, like it just needs updates. So.
Right. Or, something needs to change there. So, and it's not necessarily like I'm not pushing for, the Muppet area to close down. I'm not necessarily saying that, because I do enjoy the Muppets. I do think when used well, they're very vital parts to the parks. I remember within the last couple of years before COVID, they were doing like an American history Muppet show in Liberty Square in Magic Kingdom, where they were kind of up in the windows and everything. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's like an awesome way to use the Muppets. I don't think that Pizza Rizzo and Muppet Vision 3D are the best uses of the Muppet property. But it's, I guess, ultimately not up to us in the end. But I guess wishful, thinking, or armchair Imagineering, would say like, those would be the places that I feel like could use the biggest boost or biggest change.
Yeah, for sure. And it just brings about like, just a great discussion. And like, I love hearing what other people think, like, what rides could be like rethemed to, or like, get rid of this and we're going to build this, so I just love hearing like what other people have to say about it. So, so please let us know what you guys think, about any of like, rethemes or things that need to, get updated. Or
do we have to fight you when they close down Country Bear Jamboree? Are you going to like come at us because you're mad that they're closing that down? Like, I just, there's so much that is happening in the parks and changing the parks, and will always be changing the parks, that someone's eventually going to be upset, or, a group of people are going to be upset. But then, I think if you look at it in the long haul, or at the end, like a lot of the changes I feel Disney is doing is bettering the parks.
Yeah, I agree for the most part. I guess the only thing for me is just fun enchantment. I will just die on that hill, I think, because I just want happily ever after back. But if that's my only thing, I think I'm okay.
But we definitely want to know what your
Yes.
hills that you want to die on are when it comes to the Disney parks. Let us know. Again, we're on social media, Team Unicorn Podcast. You can drop us a DM there. You can comment on wherever you're listening or watching this podcast. You can send us an email. All the information is down below. We just really love to have conversations with you guys and see, what you guys think about what we're talking about, or like, do you disagree with us? Do you agree with us? Like, did we say something that, really making your blood boil?
Yeah, please let us know. We would love to have conversations with you guys.
Yeah. But we got some more really fun episodes coming up here for you. Definitely stay tuned and follow along on Instagram for all the hints and clues and updates on what we're going to be talking about. A lot of our updates go out on there.
Yep.
But for this week's episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast, my name is Tyler.
And I'm Sammy.
And it's been magical.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast. You can find us on all major podcast platforms as well as YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, like, and review wherever you are listening, and follow us on Instagram to keep up with all things Team Unicorn. And remember, stay magical.